2018 Dodge Challenger GT Driver's Notes Review, the correct auto for the season. Dodge's all-wheel drive muscle auto, Ford and Chevy don't have one. Dodge utilizes the Challenger GT trim to indicate its V6 all-wheel drive display, however it appears to be a decked for reasons other than that. The Challenger, even with a V6, is a superb, reasonable American terrific tourer. It's still to a great degree slick, in spite of scarcely changing looks since Dodge presented it for the 2008 model year. The strong dim on this one was especially appealing. It likewise appeared to be fitting considering the Challenger's warship measure. This thing is genuinely huge. That is valuable as in it has a gigantic trunk, ideal for visiting, however less to maneuver. Be that as it may, gratefully, it's anything but difficult to recognize the corners, which helps a considerable measure. The Challenger GT is a quite capable handler, as well. It feels formed in corners, not very substantial, just mellow body roll, and controlling that weights up normally. The ride is moderately agreeable. It lifts the spirits of most asphalt blemishes, yet you feel more than you may anticipate. So the Dodge Challenger GT has the style, space, and a not too bad adjustive energy and solace, which just abandons one thing left to address, the powertrain. Furthermore, for reasons unknown, the V6 really works pleasantly in the enormous Dodge. Under full throttle, you get an irate, throaty sound from the ignition that, while not as smooth and exemplary as a V8, is still genuinely fulfilling. It additionally has more than sufficient speeding up, if not thrilling. It's a combo that makes a fun reasonable GT auto, as well as only a strong worker with an additional measurements of style. The main proviso is that on the off chance that you require something all the more really lively, you may in any case need to take a gander at a Camaro or Mustang. Relate editor Reese counts, I spent the last 50% of a week ago in Idaho and Wyoming driving a really sweet Nissan 370Z in the snow. That auto was outfitted with tracks and skis and enabled me to do some quite imbecilic things with couple of repercussions, however it was one of the loudest and most awkward autos I've ever determined. Getting back home to Detroit and the destroyer gray Challenger GT was an extremely pleasant difference in pace. The thing is, this auto is still bound to fit in the snow. I like the Challenger a considerable amount, particularly in the bonkers Hellcat and Demon appearance. However, not every person needs a 700 or more drive beast that chugs gas with an almost unequaled thirst. The Challenger GT checks a ton of boxes. It looks great, it's agreeable, open and on account of all-wheel drive, truly usable year-round. I do wish it had more snort, however the V6 is fine and far simpler on gas than any of the V8 choices. There's probably a bundling issue that keeps the all-wheel drive framework from fitting with a V8, and I don't anticipate that Dodge will leave up the auto to settle it. In the snow, the all-wheel drive is a tremendous help. Raised wheel drive and all-season tires are not an extraordinary winter mix, but rather the Challenger pulls and hooks its way through the powder. I'm certain it's great in the rain, as well, however I didn't have a chance to attempt. I think despite everything I favor the Ford Mustang or Chevy Camaro, yet in the event that you just need a major, comfortable car, you could complete one serious parcel more awful than this Dodge. Senior producer Christopher McGraw, when I woke up early today to snap photographs of the Challenger GT and looked outside, I was fearing the prospect of getting in the auto and driving even a mile not far off. More than 6 creeps of snow have fallen since the previous evening, and the district has been not as much as stellar this year about furrowing the streets close to my home. After 30 minutes, however, I was having a fabulous time in the Challenger GT, getting it sideways around corners, yet in entire control. It is staggering to me how extraordinary the AWD adaptation of the auto feels contrasted with the RWD. In climate like this, you couldn't pay me enough to take a Challenger anyplace. I esteem my life excessively. Be that as it may, a couple of minutes in the driver's seat of the GT, and you know you will have a decent time. This is the 3rd time I've driven this auto, and despite the fact that it is fitted with the V6 and not the V8, regardless it has kick in the engine. I was proceeding onto a vacant expressway yesterday on my way into work and stunned it. While this is not the slightest bit a Demon or Hellcat, despite everything it has a lot of energy. AWD in the winter in Michigan in a muscle auto? Now that is the thing that I call fun.